Okay, boys, listen, come here. Teamwork, okay? Silence. Okay. Bear with me. I have both the crazy kids because the dad has already gone insane. I know Jackson. Okay, Megan, you want to go ahead and start?
Sure. Hello, everybody. This is our first Health of the Vine leadership call, so we don't really know what we're doing quite yet. We're trying to figure it out, so bear with us a little bit. Kendra is our upline because she's above all of us, and she is silver, very close to gold, and she's just going to talk about the basics of the business and then get into some leadership training. And then we'll have a little bit of discussion question time.
Yeah. And I'm going to talk about why I got into doTERRA and the business side. And do you want to do that first for yours too, Megan, while I finish this dirty diaper?
Okay. Well, just briefly, last season was my first full-time season over here, and I couldn't find the hairspray that I wanted and ended up finding these DIY recipes on Pinterest, and they all called for essential oils. And I had no idea what they were, so I started doing some research, which led me to doTERRA. And a couple days after getting my first kit, I got the flu, and Thomas wasn't here. I couldn't drive. I couldn't speak the language. It was just the perfect storm to just be sick and with the flu. And I ended up using 8 of the oils that I got and was over the flu in less than 36 hours. And at that point, I was like, I got to tell as many people as I can about these. And at the time, I was struggling with finding a job over here. So I did everything in college to set myself up for international business, and then even got an internship in international marketing. Was the national vice president of an international organization. I worked really hard to make sure I was going to have a job, and it wasn't working. And then when I found doTERRA, I was able to start building a business no matter where Thomas is in the world, and the crazy life that we live. All right, Kendra, your turn.
Perfect. And I love it because your why and your reasoning and everything is so opposite of mine, but it's cool because everyone has their own too. So we are going to record this, so don't feel like you have to take notes. I want it to be totally interactive, but we are going to have a good 15-20 minutes at the end to ask questions because a lot of you will probably have similar questions. So we can kind of knock them all out at once at the end. What else was I going to say? I don't know. I'm just super excited because there's so much the business side, and it's fun, but it's also kind of scary. So it's fun to be able to explain it to you guys and have all this leadership training and kind of just all the basics of the business. And then we'll break it into everything is going to be based off of doTERRAuniversity.com. So I'll go through the whole thing, but then you have it for later on. You need to continue and do it more. I'm coming for her. So that way you can refer back to it, and then you'll also have the recording too. So, it's going to be interactive. Let me think what else there's going to be. Okay, so for me, my why, these crazy little boys running around. I got into oils because when I got pregnant with my first son, he was, I had him early at 35 weeks. And he was in the hospital, and he was a preemie. I'll show you a little picture of him that I have. Let me pull it up here if it's working on my PowerPoint. So this is when Kingston was in the hospital. So that's kind of why I got into the oils. He was really sick. My background, I had went to college to become a meteorologist. So I wanted to be a weather girl, and I was going to, ever since I was little, I always wanted to be a weather girl. And the main reason I liked it was because I was afraid of the weather, and I wanted to help people to get away from it. So when the oils kind of came into our life, it just kind of fit hand in hand because I still got to help people, but it was helping our family as far as my children and my husband and everyone. So When we were in Utah, it's really big in Utah. That's where doTERRA is based out of. It just kind of went hand in hand. You've got to be quiet, sweetheart. It kind of just went hand in hand with everything that we were trying to do. So I got into the oils for that reason. And then the business side, we used them for over a year. Like Scott was super, really quick, sorry. Of course, I have to go to the bathroom right when we start. Okay. Of course. Why? Why do they have to go poop the minute you get on the bus? And you have no one else here to wipe them. I'll be back in an hour. Okay. Yeah, for real. So anyways, I had a long story short. I used the oils for everything on my husband, for basketball. We were able to have another pregnancy that was successful. And I got an all natural VBAC with using the oil with Jackson. So I was super blessed to have all that. Yeah, that's you. On the business side, I also just had used them for over a year. I was the kind of person I would never do something like this. Like I didn't want to sell stuff and have classes, and totally not my personality. That's what kind of kept me away from it. And then when I saw the business side of doTERRA and how it was so different than other multi-level marketing companies, and how the reason they got into direct sales was just to genuinely help people. And who doesn't like to do that, right? I have a class. The first thing you think of is my cousin that has eczema, or my grandpa that has this, because naturally as people we want to help others. And in the society we live in right now and the times with healthcare and everything, it's the perfect thing that goes hand in hand with something you can use on your family, but it's also useful as a business. So that's kind of just my why and how I got into this. So let's go back to doTERRA University. I'm going to kind of base the whole thing off of here. This is a great training. There's tons of resources available for you as all this, because it is kind of scary and there's a lot of information and you're not sure, but there's tons of free information out there for you online and books. So write down this doterrauniversity.com, as well as doterratools.com. Maybe Megan, maybe you could just type it in the chat and people can copy and paste them too. doTERRA Tools we'll use a lot as well. We're going to go through each section here. Like I said, keep your questions at the end and then we can answer all of them. I'll try to go through everything though. Living and using essential oils, you really have to be, you have to use the product. You have to every day use it. So it's be the product, right? You're going to want to use them every day. That's the best way you're going to know how the products work and have your own testimonials and experiences and getting the benefits of a healthy lifestyle. That's going to show to everyone without just trying to sell something. I hate having to sell. So I always say I share oils and I share doTERRA. I don't sell anything. I use them for my family. The benefits we get from them, we share with others to help them as well. So on here is everything you're going to need to know. What essential oils are, how they work. It's a great little video of what oils are, where they come from, the 3 ways to use the oils, which we know aromatically, topically, internally. Internally is specific only to doTERRA. What else is there? Why doTERRA, right? You'll get a lot of questions about Young Living and other companies. Why doTERRA and what makes us so special when it comes out there? You know, oils have been around for thousands of years. Take a time out really quick and get done. So oils have been around for thousands of years. Megan, do you want to talk about this part real quick, just on the why doTERRA and the sourcing and stuff?
Oh, I'm muted. I thought I was muted. Sorry, guys.
Are you good? Well, real quick.
The quality of oils is one of the, actually, it's the most important part of oils, period. The purity can easily be manipulated in the testing that they do. It's these little lines that stick up everywhere. And I wish I could show you one, but I don't have it on hand. And there's ways that oil companies can get around those tests where it tests like it's a pure oil, but it has fillers and carrier oils already in it. And so purity is the #1 concern when it comes to oils, to make sure that you are getting straight lemon oil or straight lavender oil and not any kind of fillers or chemicals come along with that. And so doTERRA came up with their own standard. They said clearly what the FDA is doing not working because there's oils that aren't pure that are on the market, and they're labeled as 100% pure. And so they put a standard on themselves that other companies are completely open to using, and it's called Certified Pure Therapeutic Grade. And that just means that it's beyond organic, that they source their oils from the native regions where these plants are grown. So lavender is native to southern France, and that's where all of our lavender is grown. Lemons are native to Italy, and oranges are native to Japan. And so that's where all of those are grown. And then they also do what's called, I think we call it co-sourcing. Co-sourcing. And that's where they don't just take our farmers over there and put them in France. They find farmers who have been farming, whose family has been farming for generations and generations, and they've been doing lavender for generations and generations. And then they build that economy around our need for pure oils. That's a little about it.
Thank you. This is the joys of getting to be at home with your children at the same time. And it's a lot easier when I'm with my husband, but he's already gone in Spain and we're still in the States. But I appreciate your patience. So yeah, exactly what Megan said. There's so much to doTERRA and why we are so special, because essential oils have been around for thousands of years, but we are very specific for our purity. All this great stuff to learn on here. I don't know all this stuff. You don't have to be an expert. So I truly believe that with knowledge comes confidence. I don't know everything. I learn something new at every class from people. But I don't know what mass spectrometry is. Yeah, I know that that's one of the ways we get our oils for sure, but I'm not a chemistry person. I don't know all that. So you don't have to be an expert. You have to just know where to send people to find the answers. Some people will want to know the basics. Just tell them the oil works for sore throat, right? Some people will want to know down to details of each chemical constituent that's in the oil. So then you can have a way to send to them, right? Just having that, knowing where to send them, because there are everything out there. aromaticscience.com is another website. A lot of nurses, doctors, people that have more education about things can relate to those and look on there. That one's great. Also on the living thing, when you're using your products, there's so many benefits from all the oils. So when you're putting one thing on, you have tons of side benefits you don't even know you're getting. You don't have side effects, but a lot of side benefits. On here, it has all the single oils and all the blends. So you can look in them, kind of see what they are. So say you get something in your kit, right? You have Melaleuca, and you're like, what is this? I've never heard of it. So you can look on here, what it is, has PowerPoints about it, the product information page, which is incredible, a video. These pages are what people will always ask you for when they want details. And every single product in Oil doTERRA has, they have a product information page for. So I love this. It tells you the ways you can use the oils, how we came about getting the oil out of the plant, the uses, benefits, all the great things for it. It even has the prices. So these sheets are really come in handy. I send these out a lot when people ask like about Deep Blue Rub. I send this. It has all the information, the vitamins, the kid vitamins, everything's in there with all the nutritional facts. And they even on a lot of them have like questions and answers of common things people ask. So I love that we have that available. All of that's also available on doterratools.com. For all of us that are in other countries and have other languages, even in the States, if you need more Spanish things, or there is on doTERRA Tools, you can search by, let me just show you real quick. You can just search by either the language or the country that you're looking for. So right under here, under tool types, you can search by your market and by your language. They have all kinds of PowerPoints and different things. This is where we just went for all the other things. So say you want to come down here for skincare or wellness products, right? Say you want to look at the new Deep Blue capsules. Click on here, click again, it shows you the basic information. And then if you click on the little button, the product information page, it will get you to the real page. So that's kind of the best way to go about doing those. But I didn't know about this for a long time, and it's so beneficial having all these things right on hand. So when they ask you, like, you know, how many capsules are in all those bottles, or how much are they, or what do you do with them, that's where you can get everything. On the business side, there's all kinds of forms on here. There's logos that are on here, so you can actually use those. I just made up some banners for a parade that we're in this weekend. It has all the logos on there for different things. And question I always get about business cards. I go right here to helpful links, and on the bottom you can look at the business cards. On that same website, they have I have a phone case. They have all kinds of great things on there. Okay, so that's kind of doTERRA tools and part of the living. So living with the oils and using them yourself is going to be so beneficial, like we said, is all the different things you can go through here for wellness. doTERRA does have the Healing Hands Foundation, which is a great nonprofit organization that they use to help all over the world, kind of like Megan said with the co-sourcing. One of my favorite things I love about doTERRA is the fact that, like she said, they go into people that have been harvesting lemons their whole life, and then we're helping those families to be successful and have money to keep doing what they are best at, because they know what they're doing. We aren't going to take someone from Utah and go throw them in a field in Italy to get the lemons, because we don't know the climate. We don't know the tricks to the trade of what's been going on to get these best products. So we do this. You can donate to Healing Hands. They do a lot of different things, and then they go into those areas, those villages, and they build schools and hospitals and things for these farmers to have the everyday life and the wellness for them. So they really, one thing I love the oils, and I'll use them every day of my life for my family, but the big picture of the company is just so incredible because they do have this big heart with helping the world. You can look into that. It's just Healing Hands Foundation. You can donate to it every month and do different things with it. So it's a great thing that they do, and I love it. And you can, what do we say, Megan, when you shop on Amazon, they give you the option to pick your, you know, when you check out, you have like the option to pick your something.
You can go to smile.amazon.com, and a percentage, it won't up your prices at all, but as a percentage of what you buy, Amazon gives to the Healing Hands Foundation.
Yeah. So one more thing before we go into the membership, there are plenty of resources. Like I said, there's the websites, doTERRA tools. There's a Modern Essential app, and this app is so helpful. You can look up all kinds of different things. We'll find a way to show it to you guys, maybe in the chat link. But if you just go look on your app store, Modern Essentials, it's $6.99. But you can type in and look at each oil. You can type in acne. It tells you which oils, how to use them. It's like the book version for your phone. For us that are traveling, that can't bring a lot of books around, it's really helpful for us. doTERRA also has an app. It's $1.99. Doesn't go to doTERRA. It's whoever made the app had to charge for it, but it's well worth it. You can edit your LRP every month. You can enroll new people. So if you're at lunch with a friend talking about oils and they want to get a kit, you can enroll them right there through your app on your phone. So that's super beneficial. Okay, membership. I want to go over a couple of things. We're going to talk about all the different enrollment kits we have, what's the benefits to each one, how to enroll them, and kind of how it works. And we'll talk about renewal fees as well for when you're on LRP if you do after your year's up. So the way I like to explain to everyone is doTERRA has a wholesale membership account. Costco, just like Costco, right? Costco is $55 for the year, and you get everything at wholesale. doTERRA is $35 for the year, and you get everything at wholesale, which is 25% off of retail. So it's an incredible savings. If you get an enrollment kit, it's even better because it waives that fee. So let me look at these ones real quick. Here are all the enrollment kits that we have. Jackson. Okay, here's all of our enrollment kits. If you do get an enrollment kit, it waives that fee. So I love that. If someone wants to customize a kit, they can pay the $35 for the introductory and then add to their cart. I think that's like what Tony did, right? So you just pay your $35 for the year, and everything you add to your cart is already wholesale. So that's kind of a good way to customize your kit. Now, these different kits all have benefits for different reasons. This is the most common one, right? The Family Physician Kit. So it has the 10 most common oils. They're all in 5 milliliter. So 5 milliliter contain 85 drops, whereas 15 milliliter, the bigger bottles, contain 250 drops. With that, you do get a free bottle of Slim and Sassy, which is the 15 milliliter, the bigger one. And it's $150. This is a big thing to keep an eye out on is the PV. Please get off your brother, okay? The 110 PV. So PV is point value, right? Uh-oh. Do you see that on yours, Megan, or no? Does it pop up on yours? It says this free meeting will end in 10 minutes. You're on mute, girl.
Yeah, I don't know why. Let me see if I can.
We both have accounts. You're fine. I'll keep 10. Okay, so yeah, you get your PV is point value. So oils are point for point. Lemons, $10, 10 points. Things that are not point for point are like diffusers, right? So they might be $50, but only like 20 PV because they come from outside companies. So that's one thing to remember when you come to all the kits. This is the only kits that have smaller bottles, a 5 milliliter. The next kit is the Home Essential Kit. Exact same oils as the Family Physician Kit, but they're all in the bigger bottles, except for Deep Blue because it doesn't come in 15 milliliter. It only comes in 5. This is an incredible savings. Frankincense by itself, the retail value is like over $90. So the fact that you can get all 10 of those and the diffuser for $275 is incredible. So it shows you there that savings that you do get, that's savings below wholesale. So this is a 225 PV kit. So the PV comes in handy when you have like promotions. Like this month we have a 200 PV promotion that I'll tell you about at the end real quick. But keep that in mind. Just because it costs one thing, the PV might be different. So the next kit, there is a Cleanse and Restore kit. This is a great one. A lot of people come into doTERRA looking to clear out their body of the toxins and things that we have from our toxic environment that we have. So this does come with the vitamins, the PB Assist, GX Assist, which is like a cleanse and a probiotic replenisher. Comes with lemon oil, which we know is great to drink in your water to naturally detox. Zindacrine is also a detox capsule that has oil in it. And then the Terrazyme, which is right, that's the last one's in there. Yeah, Terrazyme, which is like a digestive enzyme that you can take to help you absorb your nutrients from your food. So this is a great kit as well. Natural Solutions Kit. In every kit from here on out, which I'll show you here when we get on this little, when we look at the enrollment form, this is the Wellness Advocate Agreement. You can see the 3 kits we just talked about. And as we go on, there's a fast track. So each kit, the other 3, the bigger the kit you buy, the better you get savings back. So when we talk about LRP in a little bit, you'll get, good job, Megan. When we talk about LRP, you get between 10 and 30% back in points every month. Start at 10%. Every 3 months that you consecutively order, you'll increase by 5% until you get to 30% back after a year. If you start out with a bigger kit, so if you buy the Natural Solutions kit, you're going to start off at 15% back. So you kind of fast forward 3 months. And the following month, if you place an LRP order with 100, they'll give you 100 points back. So it's pretty much like giving you $100 back in your account. So every kit from here on out, see, they start even higher, 20% back, 200 PV, 20. I've never had anyone buy a diamond kit, but let's keep it real. If anyone bought a $2,000 diamond kit, you know, they get 25% back and they get 400 points back in their account, which is awesome. So those kind of go hand in hand with this enrollment form. Now, if they're enrolling online, you don't need that form. That's for like a class if you need to fill it out. But Natural Solutions Kit, I have this, people share this a lot. So if say I have a mom and daughter at a class or 2 sisters that want a lot of different things that don't want to have their different accounts, I have them share and be co-applicants on the account. This one's a great one because it kind of just like is your total home makeover. It has the box, put all your oils in, the toothpaste, the foaming hand soap, the vitamins, Deep Blue Rub. So like you can see, you already save over $113, and then you're going to get that $100 back in your account the following month and start at a higher percentage back too. That kit's $550 and worth 400 PV, and you get all kinds of great stuff. You do get some of the smaller bottles. You get some of the mood oils like Serenity, Breathe, Balance, or Breathe's not a mood oil, but Serenity and Balance and Wild Orange, things like that. So Citrus Bliss, it's a great kit. And then so on and so forth. These are the next 2 larger kits. I've only had one person ever get the every oil kit, but it has literally every oil that we have, and it has a great huge carrying case and a diffuser, coconut oil, and some other things, and then the diamond kit. So those are all the kit options. I do like to, when I'm talking with people, to explain them because it is hard to know. Lay down. Whoa, sorry. Jackson almost went headfirst off the couch. You're crazy. I do like to explain it because it's different for each person. You just never know what they're going to want or need or going to be best for their life. Me and Scott started with the family physician kit because we were in college and Kingston was sick at the time, and that's all we could do, and it was perfect. Obviously, everyone I talked to wishes they would have got a larger enrollment kit right off the bat, just because you end up using the oils a lot more than you ever thought, but that's just kind of what happens. So that's that about enrollment kits. I can send you the links to all these too. We can put them in the chat here at the end. If you just Google, they're all on a doTERRA tools is where they come from. But I do have these printed off for classes if we do a class in a home, so that way they can actually fill them out. And then I shred them when I'm done, so that way you don't have to worry about personal information or anything being on stuff. The third one I want to show you is just the price form. So it has the wholesale and retail. It's all of our, this is updated, so it's a really new one. Now, everyone that's in Europe and other countries, they do have these in your own, in euros and everything else. So we can help you find those. Depends on what you're doing. And it is a little bit different in Europe with the VAT tax and things, because a lot of them, they don't show the tax, right, Megan? The lovely 20% tax that we pay. Great.
Sometimes I think
they have one form that shows it and one that doesn't. So this is great because it just kind of shows you everything and helps you. A good example here, the Lotus diffuser is $89, but only 40 PV, point value. When you're going to order every month, you need to have, to do the business side, whenever anyone enrolls, you become a wellness advocate, whether or not you never want to sell. And the reason doTERRA was smart and did this because people like me and everyone else, I think it's over 80% of people that use the oils end up, are using them, and then obviously end up eventually selling them long term. And with that too, obviously you're not going to have to like enroll for something else or do anything else or pay another fee to be a consultant. You're already getting the best discounts and products with that, so then you're just going to be able to use them. So if you want to sell and become eligible for commissions, all you have to do is have a $100 point loyalty reward program, which we'll talk about, our monthly auto ship each month. So if that happens, then you are eligible. You do want to keep your template at 100 at all times. So say you jump on and order your 100 for that month, but then you want to get in there because you can change every single day. I'll show you here on the website. Sorry, I was going to pull that up. Oh, whoops. I didn't know I had two things going. There it is. Okay, so when you first log on to your back office, your doTERRA, that we'll talk about here in a minute too, you will see that it gives you the option to change your little LRP. Everything's kind of running slow, sorry. There we go. So when I edit my LRP order right here in the shop tab, it's super beneficial because you can pick whatever products you want for any time of the month and you can have it shipped any day, and that can change every month. So a lot of people with a lot of programs that have stuff, they learn that, like, you know, when you enrolled on the 14th, so then you have to order on the 14th every month. And some companies you have to order certain products, or they just send you certain stuff, right? So come here, sweetheart. So what I love about doTERRA is you can change your shipping date and then all of your products at any time. Change your card, your address, all that stuff right here on your back office. So it's really beneficial. If you do have points that add up from that 10 to 30% back, you can redeem your points right here. So mine look crazy. I know I have a lot of points because I saved mine all year. Then when I get to Spain next week, I'll redeem all of them to get like my whole house. So my foaming hand wash, my shampoo, my skincare. That way I don't have to go into any store in Spain and try to buy cleaning stuff or anything else I don't know how to buy. Kingston, please get down.
I'm finding that star.
I know, I'll find it. It behind the TV. So this is really beneficial, but you have to make sure this green number right here is always over 100 in order at all times, because we'll talk about one of the bonuses, the Fast Start bonus. It's paid weekly. So if that's not sitting over 100, you won't get paid. So you have to make sure it's always set above 100 and that you always order 100 points at one time in the calendar month. So say I already ordered for, I just ordered a couple days ago for my September order. I could jump on here and change this to the very last day of October. So essentially I'm going 2 months without ordering. That kind of makes sense. So you can change your date, or I can move it back up closer if I want it to come sooner. And you can change your product at all times, which is really beneficial. Next on the list of things with the renewal, people will ask this, and it kind of goes into detail on it down here with your membership, the renewal fee right here. So if you only time, okay, go talk to Grandma over there. He answers my phone like it's just his phone. So when you pay $35 for the year, now everyone will ask me, because the last thing you like is your credit card to get dinged, right, the year following when you forget about it. The only time you're going to get a renewal fee is if you're on LRP. So if you buy your kit and you never sign up and never order again, that's that. You'll go inactive and you'll be done. If you're on LRP, which is the Loyalty Reward Program, the monthly ordering, and your year membership comes up, it charges you right here. It shows you, it charges you $25, and they send you a bottle of peppermint, which retails at $27, and then at wholesale it's like $21. So I would like to say you pretty much get a bottle of peppermint every year, and then you get $4. It's a $4 fee to renew for an entire year to get wholesale again. But don't worry, if you're not on the LRP, it's not going to charge your card. So that's kind of that with membership. There's a lot of great things here. I'm on a webinar class. I'll call you back. Next, LRP. So there's a great video here with that too. LRP. So this is probably one of the most important things we got to learn about the Loyalty Reward Program. It's kind of like a frequent flyer program, right? So you're already going to be using the oils. Like I like to say, it's not something extra you don't need in your house that you're just like buying. I always use Scentsy. I love Scentsy, but it's a great example to use. You can only have so many in your house, and only so many people can use them, right? Whereas the oils, everyone can. So I love that it's stuff that you already going to need. So the Loyalty Reward Program is like stuff that you're going to buy at Target and Walmart anyways. Shampoo, toothpaste, all of the things that we have that are made from the oil products. I don't buy oils every month. I buy products because I'm using them, and then my oils, they do last a long time, so it's really beneficial. So we're going to watch this video really quick, and then that way you can get an idea. And it's on here this is one of those things I feel like with a lot of this stuff, I had to be taught at least 5 times. It's super confusing. So don't feel like, you're like, I can't get all this in. That's why we recorded it, and that's why it's available on the doTERRA University to kind of go back over it. But this was one that helped me understand it a lot. So I'm going to hit play and then mute myself for these crazy kids. Let me know if you can still hear the video, though. So I can see Tony's face, so just give me a thumbs up if you can still hear the video when I mute myself here.
If you have already hands on something, let's look at the best ways to get the most product for the lowest price. The best oils is by signing up as a wellness advocate yourself. When you sign up as a wellness advocate, after paying a small initial fee, you'll be able to purchase your oils at wholesale prices. That's 25% below retail. You will also be able to participate in the Loyalty Rewards Program, which is a reoccurring monthly order that you can customize so that you never run out of the essential oils that you love. With LRP orders, not only do you receive wholesale pricing, you also receive an additional 10 to 30% of your total purchase in free product points. What are product points? These points can be cashed in for more doTERRA products. In other words, when you sign up for the Loyalty Rewards Program, you're signing up to receive more products for free. These points accumulate from each LRP order you place. The percentage that you earn is based on the type of kit you purchase when you sign up as a wellness advocate, and will grow every quarter until you reach a maximum of 30%. And when you place your order online, you earn 100% of your shipping costs back as points. Now, if you still want to qualify for more free product, you can participate in our Product of the Month Club. Each product has been assigned a value of personal volume. When your PV reaches 125, we will send you our pre-selected Product of the Month. The higher the PV of each order, the more chances you will have to qualify for the Product of the Month and any other promotions that doTERRA offers throughout the year. So, what is the best way to get your doTERRA essential oils? First, sign up to be a wellness advocate so that you can purchase at wholesale prices. Then create a loyalty rewards order and receive up to 30% of your order back as product points. Don't forget to order online so that you can receive 100% of your shipping costs back as more points. And finally, make sure that your order totals at least 125 points so that you can be a part of the Product of the Month drawing.
Okay, so that's a good little video you can always watch. There's a couple other ones out there on YouTube as well, but I like that one. So I think what other the basics of LRP are, besides that it's super easy. I always like to really stress people that there is no strings attached. You can turn it off anytime. It isn't like you're going to get, you know, a fee or anything else. It does email you the day before to remind you. That way it's not just going to go through that night and you don't know about it. And yeah, we'll talk about it probably more at the end when there's questions about it. Shipping reward program is something that's kind of new, but it's not happening yet in Europe, which really stinks for us. But in the States, when you're here, it's really cool. If you order online and do it all through your back office, then you get 100% of your order shipping back in points. So if it's $8.99 that your shipping is, you get 9 points back. It's essentially free shipping right to your door to get all your products that you're going to get anyways. So I love that about the shipping reward program. There was one more thing I had pulled up about shipping rewards. This is a good little, well, that one says New Zealand, but they have it for all of them, just kind of how it works and the example, which is cool too, because if you pick a higher shipping, so say I want my stuff to come like in 2 days, so like $21, you're going to get 21 points back. So it's not just a certain amount, you get everything back. So I love that about it. Okay, I'll close out of that one. So that's kind of the end of the living section. We're going to go on to the sharing and building, because that's why you guys are all here using the oils and wanting to share them as a business. So sharing, there is a share program. There's a lot more to that, so we can kind of read into that on your own if you want. It's the first 120 days. You can pretty much earn, instead of earning all the money back, you can earn towards some free products. So classes. So there's some great information on here about booking a class. I've never used this exact way because usually when I find someone that wants to host a class, it's like they're coming to me when I'm home since I'm not there very often. People that are in the States or in Europe at all times, you'll find people that want to host classes and want to get stuff from there. So booking a class, here's a couple, like they have a couple ways of like holding up a calendar at the end of the class to get someone else to host a class. Like I said, I'm not really the person that's like gung-ho about having classes and building or like business side of it. I just love to share the oils, and I really truly feel like the more I've shared them naturally and genuinely, it just kind of falls into place with everyone else wanting to host classes and use them and everything as well. But there is a great tip there that you can like look at. Planning a class. They do have a lot of great information on here. Planning the class. There's like a little examples on date and time. You guys. Location, the guest list, which is obviously super important, and then they have great ways of, there's an actual little form on one of these that we had. There's like a little click up right here to fill out for different things. Maybe it's on the next part. But it's really important as far as like following up, and it's before the class. So actually being able to right here, download info sheet. So it's under the material resources needed. So about the date and time, and what you need to do a week out from the class, and then 2 days out from the class, the day of the event, as far as the text reminders and different things. They have a great system that works really well. So one thing I do want to talk about this is that you can't get discouraged. So I've taught many classes in the last 3 years, and there's classes I know are going to be like the best class ever, and one person shows up. And I used to be like so mad because I spent all this time like printing out papers and getting the kids a babysitter and getting over here. Then I'm like bummed. But I really had to change my mindset. Like that one person that came, I'm changing their life. They're going to use oils. They're, you know, I get to focus on them and have like 100% of the time to be on them. So just all that mindset and not getting discouraged. Then I have classes that I'm like, oh, it's going to be whatever. I'm just going to show up and 15 people are there and 10 of them enroll. And I'm like, what? This has never happened, you know? So you just got to have an open mind. Listen, you want to have more stitches? You need to chill out, okay? Okay. So yeah, don't worry about that. Don't get discouraged when it comes to classes. Now, if you're like me and at first I'm like, I'm not teaching a class in front of all these people, I'm way too shy. I was more than happy to go sit one-on-one, and I could tell someone about all the oils and how they work and like why they benefit them. But when it came to talking about like buying the kit, I always froze up because I'm like, I don't want them to feel like I'm here to sell something, right? But then I had a lot of like our upline, my husband, everyone told me they're not going to come unless they want it, and they're not going to buy it unless they want it. So just don't worry about that. So just give them all the information they want. So now I talk about enrollment kits. I talk about sharing it as a business if they're interested, because if you don't give them the information, they're never going to get it. And so you kind of got to break out of your comfort zone, and you know, when they want information, they want to know it. So it's nice to have that as far as breaking out. So I used to do a whole bunch of one-on-ones. Then I got confident enough where I'm like, okay, I could kill, you know, I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So I could teach 8 people, tell them all the same thing at one time, and then enroll them all instead of doing the one-on-one. And that came with time for me because my personality was being more shy about using it, you know? So now I teach classes at homes all the time. Like tonight is at a house. I'm going to teach a class. I had my first class at a hair salon last week, which was really fun. So doing that at different businesses, different places is great. And then obviously the one-on-ones, like we said, at a meeting at a coffee shop or on webinars. Online things are great to do. And with us girls that live overseas, it's the best way for us to do it with our family and friends and people back home. So online webinars is a great ways. Okay, so now the next part is following up. Following up is one of the biggest things in any business, whatever you're doing. It's that relationship that you're building with that customer and that client. So Tiffany Peterson is an amazing person that is an inspirational leader and speaker, and she is part of doTERRA and does a lot of different videos and things. You can find a lot of great stuff on YouTube, Tiffany Peterson. But on here, we're going to watch a really quick video about why following up is so important. This is just different ideas of how to do it. Phone calls, text messages, different ways that are going to be really personal, right? Because nowadays we live in a society where we have social media and things that can be so impersonal by just sending out mass texts and things, you know? Whereas actually taking that time to call them or write them a hand note or something, inviting them to classes and things. He's made a pillow fort on the ground for them to jump off of the couch on. He's encouraging his 1-year-old brother to join in on the game. Let's watch this video real quick by Tiffany Peterson, and it's called The Law of 4 Interactions. So it really just means that 60% of all business happens after the 4th interaction. So I'm the first one to be like, oh, they didn't write me back. I'm not going to follow up because I don't want to be annoying and bug them, right? But this will show you why it's so important to keep following up genuinely, not being annoying, but genuinely.
It's been best said that the fortune is in the follow-through. We all have great knowledge and great ideas of how to create more success in our lives and in our businesses. The real measure will be in what we do and what we follow through related to that knowledge. I want to share something with you today that helped me significantly transform my business and my results. It helped me shift in that mindset piece as well as into the tangible action piece is knowing what I call the law of 4 interactions. 60% of all sales in all business takes place after a 4th interaction with a prospect. So just like if we're dating someone and building a relationship romantically, that takes time. Well, the same thing with someone joining your business. 60% of all business takes place after a 4th interaction or 4th contact. By knowing that, we eliminate the story we might tell ourselves that if we leave a voicemail for someone, send them an email, have them sample our product, and if they're not buying right out of the gate, take note that that's normal. What I like to say is persistence always trumps talent. And when you have that mindset to know that statistically, most business is going to happen after multiple contacts, that can help you rest assured and be at peace. You continue to nourish those relationships so they turn into an actual opportunity of business. So remember, my friends, the fortune is always in the follow through, and it comes often after you've been nourishing that relationship for a period of time. So stay the course, be hopeful, optimistic, and most importantly, consistent in nourishing your prospects and nourishing those relationships for your own success.
So I love that. It's so true, like she said. And then also, like I was taught from my upline, it's not just only talking about oils 4 times. That's when you see them at church, or you see them at the grocery store, or you see on Facebook that their kid got hurt. So you're writing them because you think about them and you care about them. Those are interactions as well. So keeping that relationship and that contact with them at all times. I do love Facebook for that reason, because you do get to see everyone's life, which is a good and bad thing, but you also get to be able to check in with them. Yes, sweetheart. No, sir. And so having that kind of follow-up is just so important. When you think of them, write them real quick and let them know, like, I just thought of you. How's the oil working? Or, you know, has your little guy got better? It's also a great way to do the business, because everyone puts their life on Facebook as far as, like, so-and-so's sick and he can't go to school. So then you can write him and say, oh, that's a bummer, he's sick, but you want some samples of oils? It's an easy way, you know, to share your business online as well too. So following up and keeping that relationship, like it says, it's like building a relationship like with your husband or boyfriend. You're not just going to meet him and marry him the next day. You might not just meet him, and some people do that. Some people do just buy oils that first day, but you really have to get to know them and build that relationship for them to feel comfortable enough to want to buy it from you. That kind of ends up the sharing section. So building, once you started to share oils and you're kind of at where I am, where I want to help build with everyone below me. I love doTERRA's compensation plan, how it works, and how it really, really encourages having everyone. You can't succeed and get to your next rank until everyone below you is ranking up as well. So it's kind of a team process, and it's not just one person trumps and goes to the top and makes all the money kind of thing. So yes, we have. Okay. That's okay. In here, it's finding your why. So you know my why. Everyone has their own why, and their why might change over time. My why initially started out because Kingston was premature and we needed the oils, and then it turned into being for Scott's health, to keep him healthy, because his body's our livelihood for money in our job. I'm gonna tell you one more time. I know he dropped oils back there. It's okay. No more. Okay.
Don't take it.
It's okay. We'll get them later. So then my why transformed into being able to have a healthy pregnancy and a natural birth using the oils, and a safe pregnancy with no preeclampsia and a VBAC. And that's how I use them. So your why will transform with you. You might need, other people's whys, like Megan's, this is more just for products and using them that way. And then for personal health, which is really important. There are ways to do a lot of like personal development. I'm sorry, you guys. I gave him all the lavender oil I can possibly put on him. Vision boards are really important for just seeing yourself and doing them. So there are ways to do them online and set them as your background on your computer. So that's a great thing to do for vision boards. Finding your why, setting goals, especially SMART goals. So doTERRA really talks a lot about SMART goals, which are they're specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and time bound. So setting those SMART goals, and I know at the end Megan and I are going to talk about a couple goals and see what you guys have for your goals, whether you're just now starting off or you're doing more than that. Compensation. So this is like obviously everyone's favorite part, the ways to make money in doTERRA, right? So the first one being retail. So since we get wholesale pricing at 25% off, if you sell a bottle of oil at retail, obviously you're making that 25% difference. That could be in cash in person, or if they're ordering off your website. Everyone does get a website. A lot of people don't know this, but when you get your back office, which we'll talk about in a minute, right here it will say my online store, my website. Everyone gets their own. You can customize it. When you preview it, my picture is kind of backwards right now, but I'll show you in a minute. It loads. There's ways to go on here and order. If someone orders and shops off of your website, then you get the 25% difference in a check the next month. Kingston, no sir. My picture's sideways. This is another way they can join and save. So say someone that's far away and they want to enroll with a kit, they click on join and save, and it walks them step by step through the process of getting an enrollment kit. Everyone has their own website. You can change the URL or whatever it's called. You can change that to make it more convenient. You can add in here, I still need to edit mine, and your contact information, like a little thing about yourself. That's that. Let me get back over here. So that's one way, is selling at retail. There is the fast start bonus. This is just a good information sheet of an idea of where higher ranks kind of make on average. Fast start bonus is the fastest way to get money right off the bat. So it's paid weekly, and this has to do with enrollment kits. So say someone buys a family physician kit, right, worth 110 PV, then you're going to make 20% of their kit and then 20% on anything they buy for 60 days. This is really important and really a great way to help follow up with them and get them to order on the LRP because you're still making 20% of them. After that 60 days, they fall into the chart of the 2 to 7%. So like the residual income that we'll talk about for structure. Once again, I had to have all this explained to me like 10 times. So I'm just going to do a brief overview of each one, and then you can still like go online, research all of them, look at them, and ask any questions. I have a business page for our Sharing is Caring team, and then obviously Megan does as well for the Health of the Vine. Oh my goodness, I have to catch Jackson one more time. Get off the couch, baby. Okay, so Fast Start Bonus is a good example of it. And it's paid 3-level deep, so which is really cool. So say, use an example. Megan's below me, Tony's below Megan, right? So if Tony enrolls someone, she'll make 20% off that person for the first 60 days. Megan makes 15, I make 10%. So you can see how that adds up. I have over 480 people below me. So on average, I make like $100 a week just off of this bonus because whether I'm enrolling and making 20% or 15% or 10%, everyone's making off of everyone. There's times the girl above me in Utah who enrolled me doesn't even know you guys. She's making money off people when they enroll because she's either getting 15% or 10%. So it's really cool and it does get paid deep and it makes it kind of fun for everyone long term. That's the Fast Start bonus. Paid weekly, and that's why your LRP template has to be set above 100. Power of 3. Power of 3 is a structural bonus that gets paid either $50, $250, or $1,500 a month. So this is just kind of a reward for building your business correctly. It's just having 3 people below you on auto ship, which is LRP. Then you get $50 bonus. Now all 3 of them have to order over 100 a month. And for the 3 below you and yourself, your combined volume has to be 600. So say if you each order 100, that's only 400, right? So that's why if people are ordering the 125 a month, that gets you the free product of the month, then that's going to help boost it up. And if you have others, so I have like 6 on my front line that are on LRP, so then I always hit my $50 bonus. So you can kind of secure it by having extras on your front line. So once I get my $50 bonus, if those 3 all get 3, they each get $50 bonus. I get a $250 bonus, so on and so forth with the $1,500 bonus. So that's just another additional bonus, and why you can see a lot of those ranks can make over $10,000 a month because of all these extra ways to make money. So that's the power of 3. This isn't the best visual description of it. There is a lot better ones online. You can just Google and kind of look. That will kind of help you. Let's see here. So then the rest of this kind of just explains structure, understanding your team, how to place people. You have 14 days to place a new enrollee. So you're going to want to place them deep. And that's where me and Megan come in to help with that, because when you enroll someone new, you want to find business builders. If they're going to be a user, you want to put them deeper. It sounds really confusing and kind of scary, but that's where we're here to help, and you have 14 days. So when you enroll someone new, we can see on our back office, I'll show you here, I can see everything that goes on. I can manage my entire business off of my back office on the dashboard. So this is the easiest way for me to know when people get enrolled, we have new team members, or people rank up, your overall volume for your team type thing. So these people have all enrolled new people. So I'll reach out to my sister-in-law, Lauren, and be like, hey, see who she enrolled, where we should place them. So that's kind of helpful for that. On your back office as well, you can do a graphic tree. You can see your entire team. I'm a really graphic visual person, so I can run my entire business. It's already all there for me. And I can, I have a lot of people. I have like 480 people. So of course I'm going to I can zoom into each different leg and kind of see where they're at, where it's smart to put people, how to put them. So I love that we have all the information. It's already there for you. So when Lauren comes to me, I can be like, hey, you should put them under this person to help them with rank. Everyone helps everyone type thing. So it's really beneficial being able to understand your team and your structure that way. So that's where that placing team members comes into. You can kind of decide whether they're going to be a user, a sharer, or a builder. Some people you don't know. The ones that you never guess. I really swear it's hard. You only have 14 days. The ones that are just like, I'm not going to sell these things. I don't want to sell something else, And they'd be the ones that are like awesome business builders. Like I have a girl on my team that's in here in Colorado. And when I met her, she got the oils. She got allergy blend for her little boy. And it was so funny because she sold like all these things like Premier Jewelry and Herbalife and all these other things. And she was like, I know, I'm not going to sell them. I'm like, you don't have to. Just use them for your kid. And by the next week, she'd enrolled 3 people. And she's one of my top 5 builders on my team out of all 500. So it's just really funny. So everyone has a different timing and place for that kind of thing. Maintaining enrollership. This is something we can talk more in depth when we have more business. But if you enroll the person, you're the personal enroller. You can sponsor them deep. So I know me and Megan were talking about this the other day. If I place someone under Megan, then I'm the enroller, but Megan's the sponsor. So sometimes you'll look on your upline and be like, why am I sponsored under this person's name? I don't even know. It's because we decided to help build a team and put you deeper under someone. Depth versus width. So obviously you're building kind of a pyramid. So you're going to want to have smaller on your front line and bigger as you go deeper, and you're going to make more money with that unit level as it goes longer. One thing that's really important, if anyone else has ever done any other kind of business, anything, Avon or Herbalife or It Works, Terra has a flipped pay scale. So as it says right here, the Terra's unit level pays out the largest percentage on the 7th. And that's because your team is going to be wider and you're going to have more. So a lot of companies pays your 7% on your front line, but you're only going to have like between 5 or 10 people on your front line, right? You're going to have about 100 on your 7th line. So if you're paying the most on the littlest and the least on the most, you're not making as much money. And I have seen a video that compared doTERRA's business structure to a different one. And over the year, you end up making like $20,000 to $30,000 more because of that reversed flip thing. So that's one thing that makes them really different in multi-level marketing. They only chose direct sales because it is hard to go to a store and look on a shelf and know what's pure and not because of FDA labels being confusing. So they literally knew that when I'm next door to my neighbor and her son has an ear infection, I care and I can help and I can share the samples. And that's why they chose to go the direct sales and multi-level marketing route and kind of break that bad rep that it kind of has. Teaching classes, obviously, like I said, with knowledge comes confidence, and that's just going to come with the more you use the oils. And I'm not an expert at the class. I tell them that, like, if I don't know the answer, I should have say, I don't know, but I'll ask my upline or I'll research it for you. We'll find out together. So you don't have to go into classes feeling scared or even one-on-ones about not knowing. Because people will ask me, they'll ask me medical things. I don't even know I don't even know how to spell it. Like things like, there was this weird thing this lady asked me about her daughter, and I'm like, I have no idea. But we went and looked it up and we figured it out, you know? And people will get real personal with you too. They'll tell you things you don't want to know, but they need help with oils, so you got to figure it out. So there is ways to find all the different things. This is a cool little webinar. It's about an hour long. You guys can watch on your own just about the oils and kind of how they work. I don't know if oilmentors.com is still up. I think it got taken down for compliance, Megan? But that's a great one too if it's still up. It has a lot of great videos. As a builder, you want to keep doing the basic everyday things. So contacting people, engaging in personal development. There's great books out there. Following up with people. As we said, that's like a huge important part of your business. Try to host a class 1 or 2 times a week, whether that's a webinar or just a one-on-one. And give samples all the time. I had a really good example the other day that people are going to ask you. You're using your oils. They're out in your purse. This is my little pack I carry everywhere with me because we either have, I need lavender for head bumps on the ground at a restaurant when they fall, or put lemon in my water at the restaurant. People are going to ask you. So either have samples handy with business cards, or I've heard a really great way. You can get little drawing slips. They're like $1 for 50 little sheets. And they told people, instead of being able like, let me have your name, I'll get you samples. They just said, well, I do a drawing once a week. Every Saturday I do a drawing for free oils. So fill out your information, then you have all their information, and I'll call you if you win. Well, everyone's a winner, right? So at the end of the week, everyone's name that you've got that week, you contact them and say, hey, you won the drawing, and I want to get you some specialized samples for your health concerns. So you kind of start that initial talk with them, right? So it's a great way to get leads. People are going to ask you about it anyways. You'll find it's the easiest thing to share. And you're thinking about others all the time too. Like, you're at the park. I've literally sold oils everywhere, on the airplanes, at the park. Last night at the Rockies game, I was sitting behind someone who had never heard of oils, and I brought them out and they asked me about them. I gave them my business card. You just never know. And people are always willing to find out. So it really is the easiest thing as far as that. last thing for the building, this is all kind of new and it's new to me too, but just to keep yourself like aware with it. In Europe, it doesn't really affect us, huh, Megan? So it's kind of nice. You all know in the U.S. we have the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. That's, let's be honest, they're crazy. But doTERRA is doing all they can do to be compliant because technically, and all my PowerPoints I'll show you, I have this little slide that I talk about and it just says like doTERRA does not treat, cure, or prevent disease, right? Let me find the little slide that I always show and talk about. Sometimes I add it at the beginning. I have this PowerPoint and I can email it to you guys. I've kind of perfected it over the years, but I talk about all the oils and I've kind of added things. So if you want it, I can definitely send it to you. You can adjust it with your own stuff, but I'm a visual person, like I said, so I like having that PowerPoint for stuff. This is a disclaimer I always say, and the doTERRA does as well. doTERRA does not prevent, treat, or cure disease. So it makes sense, right? The lifestyle that you choose, the things you eat, things you do, that can prevent disease. So over 70% of disease is preventable. So it's all about that healthy lifestyle. So your lifestyle can prevent disease. Doctors are incredible, and they're there for a reason. Like Kingston got stitches last week on the slip and slide when he hit head to someone. You know, doctors are there for a reason, but oils can do a lot as well. So doctors can treat symptoms and fix broken parts, and then your body itself can cure the disease. So when your body is amazing, when it's in optimal functioning, and then you're adding the oils to help support that, then your body can cure disease. So when you just keep that in mind and don't try to be an expert, don't try to be a doctor. If we were to make claims on the internet, so this is why this section of doTERRA University is awesome. Watch these videos and read these lists. If we were to make those claims, the FDA can come in and like shut down doTERRA or try to regulate essential oils as drugs, which is crazy. We all know they're natural, but that's just how they work. So just being smart and using it on social media, there's all kinds of great things. Both these videos you guys can watch on your own help explain it a lot. And then I just use anymore this approved claims list. And so if I'm going to write on like Instagram about balance oil that I love and that I used, I just scroll down and find balance. These are all claims that have been made that are approved to say that are fine. So did I pass it? So I would go to balance. I think I passed it. And just find right here. Just use one of these statements. So I can't say that balance cured my depression or anxiety, but I could say something else. Like when I use balance oil, it really helps promote a whole body sense of relaxation. And then you're being compliant. So this is a whole other thing we can talk about at a different time, but just keep in mind you do want to be compliant with using all of your different things. So there's a whole back office section that you can look through. The back office is your mydoterra.com. Like I said, you can run your entire business off of it. This is something you guys can watch all the videos on your own time about how to shop, your team tab, where you're going to move people, all that good stuff. So that's kind of all I have for the living, sharing, building, which you guys can go back and reference on the doterrauniversity.com. We already talked for a whole hour. Already night there in Spain and Europe for you guys. The last two things I want to mention is convention comes up next week. So it's a big global convention. I can't wait. I'm going to it. So I'll try to post and update all kinds of different things. All the new products will come out. We'll get new training on all kinds of things. So I'll post everything that I find, and when I'm there, I'll post it for you guys. There is a way to watch the recordings or watch it live. So it's a small amount you pay to watch it, but it's super helpful. My first year in Spain, I watched it, so it was really cool. The time change is kind of hard, but at least you can get all the new information and just kind of get that big picture of the company. And they do have European conventions, and then next year, if anyone wants to go, we have like 12 team members under me that are going this year. So I'm super excited. So we'll get all the new products out. Now, new products will come out in America on like October 1st. Usually they're available. They won't come out usually till January or February at the warehouse in Europe. So it's kind of hard, I know. And then the last thing is this month we do have a 200 PV promotion, which this happens like every quarter. So every 3 or 4 months, they do a 200 PV point value promotion. This month is Immortelle. So Immortelle is this incredible blend that's great for scars and wrinkles, and it's an anti-aging blend that has a ton of great oils in it that are worth a lot of money. And the value is at $93. So the fact that if you spend 200 points on your LRP at any time in the month, the entire month, then you can get this free bottle of Immortelle. Now, it has to be one order. You can't place like 100 order at the beginning of the month, 100 at the end. It has to be one order of 200 PV. And this order you can do multiple times. So if you do 2 separate 200 PV orders, you'll get 2 bottles of it, which is really cool. And it works for new enrollments. So if someone enrolls with, say, this Home Essential kit, see how it's worth over 200 PV? It's $225. So with this kit, they would get that free roller ball that's valued at $92. It's a really important thing to let people know because they don't always know. So that's a great one for existing customers and new customers. Like I said, this happens every couple months. The next one that usually happens is in December for Christmas, and it's usually a bottle of frankincense, which values at over like $90 retail. So you get it for free. So there's always great stuff as far as that. I think in March, it's always like you get a free bottle of Deep Blue Rub and Deep Blue Oil, which value over $80. So they always have awesome promotions. They do, one last thing I didn't talk about for LRP, they do have the, if you order 125 points each month, you get a free product of the month. So it's always a new oil. So it's always, like this one is Clove, I believe. So if you look at doTERRA everyday.com, it will tell you every month there's a 10% off product, a product of the month, and then that. So you have all that. What else do you want to chat about real quick, Megan? We can answer questions. Sorry it took so long. And thank you so much with the boys. Sorry. Of course, now they're going to lay down and watch Mickey Mouse. All the lavender's kicking in.
Do you want to keep sharing your screen, or do you want to get off of it?
I'll get off. Yo, Woody. Kingston, look at
got-
Woody. Oh my gosh. Hey.
What up, big dog?
So yeah, I'll let you take over, Megan. I know we want to kind of talk about goals and everything, and then answer questions, and we can go.
I guess I'll be
You
good.
just have to stop your screen share. There we go.
There we go. Sorry.
Okay. So now we're opening up for questions or any kind of discussion. So does anybody have any questions about building the business, about your LRP order, any kind of sharing questions at all? Tony, did you come with your list?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. I'm like, let me flip back so I can like get my starred little questions I have. So for like ordering, like people for the US and people for like where I am in Europe, when they log on to like my website, say they wanted to like buy stuff, will it be for them in like their currency? Like, will they be able to like, they like go through and kind of choose, I can tell them, hey, you just pick kind of where you're at, and that's how they, so I don't have to do anything on my part, like no matter where they're ordering from.
Nope. So when they log on, they get a pick. Like, remember how when you enrolled for your kit, you get to pick your language and pick your country? Then after they pick that and hit continue, it adjusts everything to their language and their country and their dollar or euro. So that part's really helpful for sure. And a lot of things are different in Europe. Like it's been a really big transition for me and Megan and Krista and all of us girls that are over there, because a lot of the business side's behind as far as like shipping reward points. We just got the back office to be like ordering online, not having to email your orders. And that's one thing that's growing so fast. It's exciting, but it's like we're part of it. So we're brand new with it, but there is a lot of that. Megan and I have had a lot of frustrating situations with dealing with European orders at doTERRA.com email.
Yeah.
Like we get this one girl and she's just really interested every time, so like we're just working with it. And I know when we look back next year, we're going to be like, we were part of, doTERRA. They grow by 300% every year. So it's huge. Like it's so exciting and it's so great that we're new with the company, but there's, those growing moments that you just kind of have to work with it. So
Yeah, Keisha and Taylor at European Orders at doTERRA.com are not very happy with me. I talk to them like 4 times a month. And
she's always like, oh, this Keisha girl.
yeah, and she's always so
they're learning and trying. We do have a lot of things with like other countries. Like a lot of people will ask, like, can I order in, as basketball wives, we move from country to country. So like global access countries, is that what it's called? A lot of times you can't ship there. And so that's something that like has to do with not doTERRA's fault. Like that's just the world thing, So there's stuff like that we work around, and a lot of things. But we're always here to answer those, and a lot of times we don't know, but we find out. Like Megan asked me about this random country one time, the island or whatever. I'm like, but we do ship to there, so it worked.
And also, I try to sneak around and like chat to the Americas to ask questions, and then they're always like, "Oh, we don't know because you're in Europe." Like, it's an easy question, and it's in America too. You do know the answer.
It's like you're this foreign person. So yeah, and like I said, there is so much stuff that with the time, it's like just takes time to learn. I had to have the compensation plan explained to me like 10 times, and I was still so confused. And then finally it just clicked and kind of made sense,
For our like LRP orders, they just have to be ordered by the 15th, or well, yeah, I guess it was the 15th, like the 1st through the 15th of each month, or does it have to be like ordered and shipped by then? We just have to like place the order before?
That's a good question. You can have it ordered any day of the month. The 1st through the 15th is if you want to get the free oil. So like this month, so it has to be placed by the 15th. Hold on, sweetheart. Placed by the 15th, not shipped and received. So that's a good question. And I might screen share real quick and show you one more thing. Because when I do for example, my order, I'll show you. Sometimes there'll be days blocked out, and I had people ask me this all the time. So when you're on your shop tab and you're on your LRP, it loads faster. Sometimes if say the 13th and 14th and 15th is like all blocked out, you can't ship that day, and you're like, crap, because I want to. It's because they only take a certain amount of orders each day because they don't want to so people can order, then they won't get them all out, right? So let me edit it. Oh, it's already on there. Now, there is a way of getting around this, though. Because you'll see here, nothing is, it says a light gray will be past due or unavailable. So nothing's light gray yet for October because we're not there. But see how like October 1st, there's already enough people that have their LRP set up for that day that just doesn't have enough. If I wanted to order on October 1st, I just set it to the 2nd. And then when the 1st comes, I go into my cart and I don't know why I can't get to my cart. At the bottom, you can just hit process now. So you can have it go through that day. You have to just go in and hit process now. But a lot of people ask that about the day being kind of grayed out or blocked out. You can still order. You have to just go in and manually hit it to turn it to go.
I also wanted to share with you guys the training stuff that we have. So our upline created this whole website that is full of training videos and worksheets and just forms that help keep you straight with all this information that we throw around. Right now, everybody qualifies for the Elite Challenge, which they do once a month, and it starts on the 1st. And Kendra has lots of these little booklets, and you can get them from like myoilbusiness.com. You can download it online and do it just on your computer. I'm doing the Elite Challenge right now, and so is Angela. It's really great. They have videos. It doesn't take more than an hour a week. It tells you all of the resources you need and stuff like that.
It is really helpful. And then it goes with each rank. So we didn't get to talk about ranks, but it helps you get to the next rank. So it's not like everyone's just trying to learn and get going. It's like it breaks it down by where you're at and where you want to go for the next rank. So it kind of is more personalized and kind of helps it be easier in your mind to just kind of slowly take those baby steps from going rank to rank slowly. I posted it in the chat. It's just sharesuccess.com. So yeah, if anyone else has questions, we're always around. You can post on our business pages, on our just team pages in general. Feel free to always message me and Megan. We don't mind at all. Just be patient if we don't write back right away with our time change. And as soon as I can get back to everyone, But we don't mind questions. Everyone's like, I hate bothering you. I'm like, no, I love it. I just feel bad if I can't write back right away, So don't feel bad. You can ask us every day for the whole year a different question. We don't mind. Just give us time.
I text Kendra at least once a day, and then when I hit 5 questions, I'm like, I'm really sorry.
She even wrote yesterday after I didn't write her back right away because I'm at my dad's house visiting family. She's like, I know you're really busy, but I love you and thank you for taking time to look at it. I'm like, you're so cute. So don't worry. We all have them. We've all been where you're at, and then we want to help you get to where we are, and it's just really fun. And so you're lucky you have Megan as your upline because she is a go-getter, and I love having her below me just because she is super independent, and she's super you can tell she loves what she does, and so it's fun. I learned so much from Megan. It's just cool, because all of your little videos every day, and it's fun. It's fun to learn different ways to build the business and ways to share things that I wouldn't think of, or so it's fun.
So like you guys first starting out, or when y'all first started to share, was it easy? What route did you take? Did you kind of say, hey family, you kind of went to your family and your friends first and were like, this is what I'm doing, let me share this with you guys, and then after you did that, did you go to Facebook? Was that one of your big resources, or just meeting people one-on-one? What did y'all find helpful for people just starting out?
My biggest thing,
if that makes sense.
No, for sure.
I started doing every month when I got my doTERRA order, just posting a picture on Instagram, Facebook about it.
Yeah.
And saying this is a problem I've had and I finally found a solution for it, and stuff like that, just personal testimonies for people to see. I got my mom to enroll so that she wouldn't miss out. I mean, I can't be making big bucks and have my mom mooching off me. So I enrolled her, and so I could build under her. And then really, actually, it's kind of like that story about Jesus going back to his hometown and everybody made fun of him. That's me trying to sell to my family. They're like, you're a witch doctor.
It sounds crazy, but family might be the hardest people to sell to, because you don't want them to feel like they have to buy it if they don't want to. So I came back from a convention and I was like, okay, I'm going to go gung-ho and I'm going to do this. So a year after I was selling it, I knew we were moving to Spain. Couldn't be a weather girl. I'm like, I'm going to do this. So I wrote my family and told them. They were like, cool, go for it. We support you. None of them got anything. My mom was into the breathe oil because my son had used it and she had asthma. So she got into it. So slowly I've got everyone. My entire downline, I have 4 big leaders, and 3 of them are my family, my 2 brothers and my mom. And then my grandma has a kit. My dad has a kit. Everyone has them eventually. It's been 3 years now. I find Facebook is really helpful, obviously. I post a lot of things. I like having a business page, so I'm not being the annoying person on my personal page. It's just overwhelming people, right? I have a girl, a friend from high school who sells Dove chocolate, and it's so cool, but I don't want to hear about chocolate every day. And she posts about chocolate every day. So I have my business page. I post about my oils. Occasionally I share it, right? And then it's crazy because people, when it comes and it's important in their life, so you might share it with someone the people I think of that I'm like, okay, they're natural, they use healthy things, they would love these. They're the ones that don't really use them, right? Right off the bat. But then 6 months down the road, their kid gets sick or their grandma gets diagnosed with something. They think of you and they go back to you, and then all of a sudden you wake up to this random message from a friend from high school. So it kind of just depends on the person, but you just got to go whatever route is best for you. And with you having sisters that you are all really close, you're gonna recommend things right away to them and then their friends, and just keeping that open idea to it. It is nice that doTERRA is growing so fast that people now, when you mention it, they're like, oh, I've heard of that. I don't know what it is, so tell me more, but I have heard of it. They're starting to use them in diffusers and emergency rooms, and colleges and universities are doing research things on essential oils, and they're starting to be there's a lot more news articles that are coming out about essential oils. So it is becoming more of a common, it is going to be a household name. In the first 5 years, it grew faster than Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, and there's one more. I don't know, but Facebook, in the first 5 years, it grew faster than Facebook. So it is going to be a household name and everyone's going to have them. It's just a matter of how they get them. So I do like that it's never been something all the time I get people that personal message me. I don't know them, but they're like, join my It Works team or join my Mary Kay team. I've never once had to reach out and do that because that's not like me. And I don't want to be that person, you know? I just share with them my experiences of sharing it as a business, and then they come to me when the timing's right. And whether that's, I can't stress that enough about timing being right, because it has to be right in your lifestyle. Like Tony, when I met you last year, I was like, oh, I even told Megan, Tony would be amazing at this. And then I'm like, but it's not right in her timing. And then you came to us when it was right. You know what I mean? So
yeah, then I was like, oh, I'm going back to Spain again. I'm going to be over here forever.
Yeah.
And then Scott gets sunburnt, and then he gets nauseous, and then he's wanting his, deep blue. And I'm like, okay, why are you asking me about all this stuff?
For sure. I want to answer Niv's question real quick. She just said, I was thinking that I don't want to buy 100 PV per month initially to avoid overspending without getting any return income. Is it going to be impossible to make any commission or money until I start with that? So you do have to have that 100 PV LRP order in place and ordered to receive commissions. Now, if the timing's not right, you can turn that on whenever you want. So, but in order for you to receive that check, you do. Now, it's a personal LRP order, but you can add people's orders to yours at the beginning. So say you have a friend that wants to add a lemon oil or to fill that order, right? And like we said, when you get to know all the products and you just try them, give them that chance for the first month, you can buy your toothpaste and your laundry detergent and your vitamins and your kids' vitamins and skincare and shampoo on the doTERRA. That counts as your monthly order. So when I thought of it at first too, we're like, we don't have an extra $100 to spend. We were like college kids with a newborn baby that was a preemie, right? But when we actually broke it down to savings, we saved over, it was like $207 a month that we saved by ordering our monthly order of stuff we're already ordering. So I'd never buy any cleaning supplies. I never buy any medicines or anything like that from Target, Walmart. With babies, I know you have a little baby, Niv. I don't buy any baby stuff. I make baby butt spray. I don't have to buy baby rash or diaper rash cream, all those things. You can make your own wipes. So there is a lot of ways to save and like change that mindset of that 100. But if you can't do it and it's not the right timing, then just don't turn it on yet. And then when you do turn it on and get above 100, you can make the money.
I did want to mention that John Hopkins Hospital, they're like leading, I mean, I'm sure we've all heard of them, but leading in like cancer research and stuff. They actually were telling people like essential oils don't work, don't buy doTERRA, it's not a real thing. And so they were like, well, we need to do this research to prove doTERRA wrong. And in the middle of doing their research to prove us wrong, they found that essential oils work. And so now they've endorsed doTERRA and they're partnering with doTERRA to do research on how essential oils are good for cancer patients and stuff like that. So it's really crazy how the whole scheme of things is changing and people are starting to recognize the power of pure essential oils. And they are stressing that purity as they're doing these studies.
It's cool because we have like the 7 founders. We have like Dr. Hill, who's a chiropractic doctor, medical doctor, and we have Dr. Pappas, who is a chemist. And so there's so much background to all the things. They aren't just grabbing oils and putting them in a bottle. Like they, like even the blends, it was the coolest thing at one of the conventions. The way they put the different oils into the bottle changes the chemical and constituents and the actual medicinal purpose. So like for the allergy blend, like if you're going to do lemon, lavender, peppermint, the way that they make the blend for breathe or different things, if they put the peppermint in before the eucalyptus, it changes the benefits of it. So they break it down and to look at all the different sides of all of it. So there's so much more behind it that we get benefit from using the oils on the medical side from all the research that they do. And that's why that I'll put in the chat, but the aromaticscience.com and then PubMed. PubMed is a great one that has a lot of things about the On Guard, like actual research with the On Guard killing staph or H1N1 or different things, that can actually kill viruses. So, okay, I don't want to keep you all forever either, but if you have more questions, let us know, and then we'll answer them. And if you're like thinking of different things tonight or tomorrow, just message us and post them on the Health of the Vine business page, because then 90% of the time, every question you have, someone else is thinking it too. So then it helps everyone kind of learn,
We also wanted to figure out what everybody's goals were with doTERRA. Like, how do you see doTERRA changing your life? What your goals are for this month, what your goals are long-term, so that we know how we can best help you guys.
And even if it's basic things, like I'll start, like my goal is to hit gold and I'm really close. And I do have convention coming up, which is exciting. So attending meetings like this or big conventions like for the company are really important to do, I think. But my personal goal, I need to hit gold. And you guys can help me too as your upline, and Megan too, by encouraging us too. Like it goes all the way around. We're a big team. So I'm trying to hit gold and just hosting as many classes as I can before I leave and come back overseas. So everyone else that's new, I know it's kind of like scary, but
I know. I was like, I'm trying to like think of stuff, but I feel like I feel like mine would probably be just to learn more and try to see, because I don't want to like go out and try to get someone to, or like share it without knowing the background and like the information. So I feel like I just need to like really sit down and go over everything and be like, look, okay, this is what this does. Like, this is what this does. And then maybe like start family wise and be like, hey, sisters, look here. And, you know, try to get them on board and then kind of go from there.
Get Tori in it. She'd be good.
Right? I know. I texted her the other day and I told her I was starting this and she was like, okay, well, I'm broke right now. So can you give me like a few weeks? And I was like, yeah.
So I'm going to post
I feel like, especially with like them having 3 sisters, maybe like instead of each one of them trying to like do stuff, maybe be like, hey, do you all want to kind of like come together and help out? So I know they'd be all for it. So I just have to kind of.
And your mom's a nurse, right?
Yeah, Mom. Yep, she is. So.
And I love that because nurses have so much medical background, but then they also see all the drug abuse that comes from using synthetic medications. So they're usually the ones that the most. I have like 4 of the nurses on our downline. So that use them. One's at the Children's Hospital here in Colorado, and she loves it because she hates seeing all the side effects and the drug abuse and things that happen when people come in. So having that alternative, and she does sell it to some of her clients. Like if she feels comfortable enough, and then they're like hating, like I'm that mom at the pediatrician, like they mentioned something like with kinks and stitches, they're like, go home and give him Motrin. I'm like, just let you know, I probably will just give him lavender and then he'll be fine for the pain. And I did, and I didn't give him Motrin. The doctor was like, do whatever you want. I'm just letting you know, So sometimes people want the other alternative, so that is an option, I did post here in the the group chat. I get all my sample bottles from shareoils.com. There's my oil business. There's Aroma Tools. That's the best way to share the oils. And that doesn't tell you, Tony, is like the education part's really good to have, but you don't have to have that either. So you just let them know, like, hey, they worked for me. Every time you give them the bottle, the minute they open the bottle, the oil will sell itself, which is really nice.
And then eventually you'll get your husbands into it. Like Thomas, he's actually sold more than me since the season started. He was in the locker room, like I had to order a new deep blue. I just ordered one and I had to order another one because apparently he's been walking around the locker room giving everybody deep blue after practice. And then we were at this store yesterday, and here essential oils are a lot more common, like just in stores. And we were at this like cooking store, and they had essential oils in there, and he was smelling them, and he was like, oh, this is not pure. This is not pure at all. Like, our oils are so much better.
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
And then he was like, you need to buy some of these and then have them at classes so people know what they're really getting. And I was like,
so you can compare them. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
That's a good idea.
That's what I do in all my classes. So I had bought some. And it's so funny because I promise you that's the biggest selling point. In my PowerPoint, I have the circle that shows like what all the different types of oils are. Sorry. But I had bought a lavender and a peppermint from King Soopers. Same price as ours. But on the back, it says 100% pure oil. On the back, it says not for internal use, which that's how you know they're not truly pure. And in the class, I pass around, always have them smell doTERRA first, otherwise it ruins their nose and they can't smell the good doTERRA. But have them smell lavender and then smell the other brand, and you'll smell the impurities and the difference. And that's a huge selling point because until you're educated and know that every bottle is going to say 100% pure, even though it's not, like it's a really good example for real. Even Krista, our other upline's story about, I had enrolled her with doTERRA and she was waiting for her kid to get there. So she went to the store and got lavender for Dom's diaper rash, and it burned him. So she was in what country? Estonia at the time. So it wasn't pure. And so whatever the fillers and additives actually burned his little butt. So that's always her reason, or she'll say in her thing too.
Angela, can you hear us? Are you on?
I can hear you.
Do you have any goals or anything this month that we can help you with?
I'm making a mess. I really want to do a class. And I guess we're approaching, or I don't want to say approaching, but I don't know. Those that are kind of interested in the class, but then just kind of like, wander off, like a good way to to get them to commit and, you know, set a date and do it. Because I've run to a lot of people last month, and I just got started doing it. So I was a little nervous anyway. But then all of a sudden it was like all these people, you know, it was opportunity, and just that it was there, and I, you know, shared with people, and then they asked me before I could say anything about, you know, teaching them more about it. But just getting them to commit to doing a class or a one-on-one just to kind of help them understand it more and learn more about the oils.
I think my biggest suggestion with that is, like, it's just hard to know. Like, I'll invite the same person to 10 classes and they finally come to 11th class, you know, and they'll be like, I'm going to be there, I'll see you in an hour, and they don't show up. Like, I don't know if it's just, that's a hard one to kind of answer. As far as them hosting the class, so Terra isn't like other companies where you have like host benefits where you get like 10% of the profit from the class or anything. So Terra isn't like that, which I like because it doesn't put that pressure on it. But I always try to give a personal hostess gift. So maybe let them know, like, hey, I know you've been wanting the Swim and Sassy oil. If you want to host a class, I'll give that to you as a kind of thing. Or that kind of helps narrow it down or kind of get it set. And one-on-ones is hard as well. It's like, you know, setting the lunch date, maybe it kind of falls into that same category of the like after the 4th interaction you get 60% of the business, or like that actual commitment, you know. So maybe just continuing to follow up with them. And I wish I had a better answer, but it just depends.
That helps.
Yeah. And that happens to us too, so don't feel like it's just you know, it does happen a lot.
These came in my LLP today, and this is 20 of 5 milliliter wild orange, and it's called Power Kit. And here it's 35 euros for 20 bottles of them. And so what I'm going to start doing is there is so everybody that signs up to host a class will get one. And then anybody that signs up at that class to host a class, I'll give one to them also.
Okay.
So that's called the Empower Kit. And I think you can also get it with product guides. And I found out at that last party we did, Angela, that everybody wanted a product guide. Like, I didn't have them before that class, and I didn't think, oh, it's all online, why do I need to have product guides? And everybody was asking, like, oh, can I get a product guide? And there's information about building in there, and there's like the basic info in there and stuff like that. And so
yeah,
those were really helpful.
That Empower thing is great though. And there's a lot of things too, like I think it gives you, am I wrong? Does it give you like the 5 milliliter oranges, a magazine, and a postcard? So then if they bring that postcard, they get to redeem it for their wild orange and their.
Yeah, you can get
do it that way too.
different kits. There was one that has all of that stuff in it, and then there's just the oils, and I just got the oils.
Okay. Because then everyone that attends the class gets a 5 milliliter orange. And that helps get their attendance rate up too. But like I said, don't get discouraged because sometimes more people will show up than normal. So.
So I think that's all I have. Oh, I really suggest everybody going to sharesuccess.com and signing up for the Live training. That has hours of videos on it that are just like so many great videos about like how to use these oils, how do they work, like getting a little bit more scientific about how oils really work, and how like aromatically when we breathe in oils, it doesn't just smell good. There's actually a science behind how it affects our brain and our mood and our health and stuff like that. And so these videos kind of go into that, and then it talks about, there's a video on stress, and we have a stress square where you can like, you're anywhere between fatigue and tired, and I don't remember what the other line is. And then it shows you which oils help for that. Then there's a video, the Everyday Oil Expert video. It's awesome because I think it's like 30 minutes long. And it talks about all of these different oils that they use throughout their day and how they work, why they work. It's got a lot of great information and information on the products without being like super high pain. Without being like super overwhelming.
How old is she?
she's 2.5.
Oh,
You gotta post that video of her talking about her essential oils in our group.
Oh gosh, she's hilarious. She in the car one day, she said, "I got a boo boo," and I said, "Oh," she said, "I need my essential oils." I said, "Oh, okay." You know, and like another day, we were at the house and she brought her baby doll over. She said, "My baby died. My baby needs essential oils." And if I don't put them where she can, I have to put them where she can't reach them because she'll be all in my bag trying to open them and roll on oils on herself.